Welcome back to the show, the eternal show. We're never gonna die. We're gonna live forever. It's time to be alive and but stay inside. And the grammar is a word, and a word is a grammar, and a green towel in my face, and a face on my green towel. Oh, seventh
Yeah. Hello, welcome to AAWI and Also With You podcast from Affable Idiots. That's how a tongue goes. Every week, join us and all of your other lifelong friends. I said leather. Lifelong friends as we laugh together, share secrets, and strengthen our friendships on this off-color Mr. Rogers-esque show. I'm one of your hosts.
Get in with the leather people.
Oh,
you know,
God,
like in the,
yes, the leather
that's
daddies.
Their king. Yeah,
Folsom Street Fair is a thing that happens here in Chicago where a bunch of leather daddies just get out in the street and fuck each other.
Here in Chicago? You are not in Chicago.
What did I say? San Francisco. San Francisco.
Okay. I was like, Folsom Street. I don't think that's in... I think that's a San Francisco thing.
No, it's a San Francisco thing. They just do each other in the street. It's legal somehow.
Why don't we do it in the road? That's a Beatles song.
That is a Beatles song. I'm one of your hosts, Chad Michael Innes, and with me here I've got Jessica Neal. And all of you other lifelong friends listening and watching across the world. I'm so happy to be here with all of you.
And also, Con 2.
Ooh, are you speaking Italian?
Idyllian?
Italian.
No,
From Italy.
That was Spanish. But also, I think that might have been Italian as well.
Spanish is E2.
That's and you. Con is with. So con tu is with you.
What
I said
also
and
in
also.
Spanish?
Why?
I said
también.
I'm so happy to be here with all of you, and you said with you.
I said and also con tu.
Ah, gotcha. You just used the C word.
Cut.
I love the delay there. Anyway, Jesse, I'm going to start by asking you a very simple question. I want you to answer honestly.
I can make no promises. Casey is doing very well. So far as I know, he's getting ready to start playing some more Xenoblade. Looking over here
Xenoblade
to my
Chronicles
right.
on Switch? Remastered edition?
Yeah, it's the second one.
Oh, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on Switch?
On Switch.
Oh,
but currently he's playing tug with a toy that I made my dog yesterday out of old t-shirts. I decided I didn't want any more.
Oh, I'm proud of you for knowing when to give up your t-shirts.
I know. I've really come a long way in my 30s. Almost at old age. Things seem to be going well. The dog seems to be winning, but honestly, the dog should always win. That's how you keep them coming back for more.
It's the secret to marriage.
Yeah.
The dog
Marriage
always
to a
wins.
dog. Bestiality. This comes back to last week.
Oh, full circle. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm going to adjust your video real quick before we go into our game for this week, which is a very, very special game.
Oh,
My
do I get
boy.
to be a potato?
My special boy.
God? Now
I've
it's me,
abandoned
boy.
my boy. Yeah, so we have a very special game, a healthy competition this week. This one's not really so much a competition as it is a collaboration, however.
Ooh. I love a good collaboration.
It is a good collaboration. But before we get to that, put your
Primero.
finger in the frame so everyone can see it. If you're watching on youtube.com/
Here's the window.
whatever the fuck it is. And last week's game was Wi-Fi network, sex toy, or some shit I made up. Feel free to go check that out if you haven't already.
It was really funny.
It was a very funny game. Very good, Jesse, from your brain.
Thank you. Thank you for your accolades. I needed them.
We put out a poll on Twitter asking where you scored, and it was a 50-50 split. Out of a total of 24 possible points, half of you got 7 to 12 points. Bomb emoji. That's bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
Is that
bombed.
bomb like good or bomb like you? Oh, it's like you bombed.
It's you bombed because it started. What was the first one? Let me pull it up. The first one was an ambulance. It's like you died.
You died.
So you're dead. The second one was you bombed.
Okay. And then half the people got 13 to 18, and they're broccoli? No, what is that?
No,
It's tiny.
it's a tree, which is springing to life.
Okay. And then nobody
19
got
to
19 to 24, which was A rocket ship?
Yeah, which is a rock star.
Gotcha. Rocket star. Got it.
Because
Very
rockets
good.
go out among the stars.
Oh, shoot for the moon, and if you miss it, you'll land in the atmosphere and burn up.
And hang in there like the cat hanging in there. That thing as well. These are all things from 7th grade classrooms.
They are indeed. But this week, we have a game we haven't played before. And again, it's going to be more of a collaborative one. Jesse, I need you to close your eyes.
Okay, they're closed. I promise.
The year is 2041.
Mm-hmm.
Far in the future. We've run out of military forces, and we've reinstated the draft.
A game we've never played.
Welcome back to Celebrity Special Forces Infinite Frontier Edition.
Yes.
This one is all about exploring space with the 6 celebrities that are left to fight on Earth. You're allowed to open your eyes now.
Oh, okay. I was doing as I was told.
I am going to
6
send
celebrities left on Earth.
6 celebrities, yes, left on
all
Earth.
The celebrities are dead and all the regular people lived. It's now more than ever. It's better.
I told you, we wiped out
me.
all of our military forces. And the next time we play this game, we will have repopulated the Earth with whatever's left of these people.
Ooh.
So, Jesse, I'm sending you a shared note right now with our scenarios and our celebrities in them. I want to read the scenarios first. This is Infinite Frontier Edition, so it's all about exploring the universe.
I like it.
Our first pair of celebrities will have to investigate a distress call from a neighboring galaxy. Our second pair will have to detonate a nuclear bomb in a dying sun to rewarm a freezing Earth.
Yes.
And our final pair of celebrities will have to establish peace with an alien civilization.
Okay. All right.
Are you ready for our celebrities that are playing this week? If you're watching, I'm going to reveal them on the screen here one at a time. Our first celebrity is Rowdy the dog from Scrubs. He's a stuffed dead dog.
Yep.
In this particular one, he's wearing sunglasses and a nice beret.
Remember that dog in that place across the street from that old Caesar's? It was, Caesar's, the Mexican restaurant.
The margarita restaurant, yeah.
Yeah, remember there was like a fake dog in the window across there? And I don't, called it Rowdy.
I just described it as a margarita restaurant. I mean, it technically is called Killer Margaritas.
It's called Scissors Killer Margaritas.
Scissors.
Okay, on to the next.
So we have Rowdy. We have Betty White at age 97, who is not looking good.
That photo doesn't look good, but you know what? She's 97, and she's amazing. This woman is an icon.
She's not dead, and that speaks volumes. We have Jean-Ralphio Saperstein from Parks and Recreation. Pills, baby!
So stupid.
We have Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire, the character, not the actress.
100%.
Bryan Cranston.
That's the sexiest photo of him you could find.
That is a very sexy photo of Bryan Cranston.
Never in my life have I seen, how old is he? In his 60s? Year-old man looks so good.
And finally, Miss Piggy.
Oh my gosh, Miss Piggy. It's the photoshopping on all of these. I just want to have a big 6-way, 7-way. I want to include myself in this.
To include yourself. No, just film it and then diddle yourself afterwards. So we have to decide, of these 6 celebrities, who goes on which mission.
Miss Piggy.
Mission. Who goes on which mission?
Oh my gosh.
And again, our missions are investigate a distress call from a neighboring galaxy, detonate a nuclear bomb in a dying sun to warm a freezing Earth, and establish peace with an alien civilization. Jesse, do you have any ideas of where we should start?
I think we need Betty White to establish peace.
You think Betty White can establish peace?
Oh, big time.
Make an argument
Betty
for it.
Fucking White.
It is Betty fucking White. However, she's 97. The year is 2041.
Are you trying to sacrifice her in this bombing sun?
I'm just trying to say, it is 2041. Her views might be aged a bit. She might be racist. Do we want her to be establishing peace with an alien civilization if she's a racist now?
You know, I don't think she's a racist. But she could be. But irregardlessly. I think I am going to just say, because what I say is fact, and that's just the way it is. Betty White is constantly evolving. She is human evolution, that woman. And so I think that she knows that alien civilizations are our way forward. And also, it's a secret, so don't tell anybody. But she's fallen in love with an alien, and they're planning to run away and and get married together, to each other, together and to each other.
Is that today or is that 2041?
2041.
Oh,
I mean,
gotcha.
all of this. Don't worry, I'm speaking only in the future. Right now,
To be
she
clear,
doesn't even.
She's 97 today. She's also 97 in the year 2041. So
She's about to get cryogenically frozen.
Exactly, yes.
Just like Austin Powers.
And we only have 5 people left in 2041 to fight for our country. So we have to revive her and thaw her out.
Yes. And then do that big pee scene.
Yes.
Remember the pee scene from Austin Powers? I'm trying to avoid, at least, another Romeo and Juliet scenario, which is a terrible love story. And also it's the very opposite, because they were like 12 and these people will be almost 100. So but it's
I'm gonna
because
say,
of their love.
The only
we
other
come
argument
together.
I could make is that she's old enough that, like, if somebody's gonna go on a suicide mission to bomb the sun,
Knew you were going to try and explode her.
that's
She
gonna try
Betty
and
White
explode her.
Betty White is a national treasure.
But for
I
how
suggest
long?
we get I
But for
suggest we
how
get
long?
rowdy.
You can't
and already
cryogenically freeze
dead
someone
dog
twice.
to do- I suggest we get rowdy, an already dead dog to do it.
I'm not against that. But also, when you see a dog, especially one in those cool goggles and hat, how can you not go, "Oh"?
At first, I was like, "Is that Justice?" Because Justice is blind. From
Justice.
I was like,
was
that's
blind.
definitely not a real dog there. I mean, like an alive dog.
Oh, right. It is a real stuffed dog.
It's real stuffed.
I'm gonna put down Betty White for establishing peace.
I mean, only if you can get behind it.
I mean,
I don't want
humor
you
brings
doing
us all
something
together.
you don't wanna do.
No, it's okay. It's one of those two for sure. And later we
Yeah.
might change our minds based on other
Yes,
evidence. But we'll
because
see.
what you put in here now is not set in stone until we say this is set in stone,
That's right.
and we have
And we
to
will
say
remember to
those
say it. So Betty White's establishing peace. Who would be good at investigating a distress call from a neighboring galaxy? Now, if I've seen enough sci-fi movies, it almost always ends in everyone dying. But
Yeah.
you also have a chance to come out a hero because one person at least usually survives. Sometimes a cat does too, if it's the movie Alien.
You know, I think Miss Piggy, because in that photo especially, she looks like a news lady, a news person.
Very good.
And she's always been, kind of a detective in the show, like with Kermit and all these other Muppets. I think she could really investigate.
I don't have anything to say against Miss Piggy.
Okay.
But I'm also going to throw out there, and maybe we can talk about whether or not they'd be a good pair, Bryan
Yes.
Cranston.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I feel like if there was danger, Bryan Cranston is the danger. He's the one who knocks.
Yeah, that's
He can
true.
handle himself. He can.
Ooh.
I was about to spoil something in Breaking Bad, but I'm not going to. Everyone should go watch it if you haven't already.
If you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life?
What?
Exclamation mark. Do better. If you can hear my dog, she's just playing. And C, I love it.
All right, we're down for Bryan Cranston exploring a distress call from a neighboring galaxy.
And I think he and Miss Piggy could be a really good pair. I really do.
So?
I do think so. We don't have to be married to it yet.
She's an
but-
investigative journalist. I can definitely see that for sure. So Miss Piggy, we're gonna put her down for a distress call as well.
And Bryan Cranston is like he's so versatile. So I mean, he was in that show where he played a dad. And
Malcolm in the Middle.
And yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And
He's
that
a good
other show where he
speedwalker.
played and that other show where he played a dad. Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. You're right. He was a dad in that.
So
These
those are
taste
two
like
opposite ends of the
Band-Aids.
Band-Aids. Those
Why
are
don't
two
you
opposite
just
ends of the
die
spectrum.
already?
Gosh, what a good show. Those are two opposite ends of the spectrum. And he's done everything in between. So I feel like Bryan Cranston is one of those people who can take what he's given and really make it work to whatever the
hour. He can make it work.
He's a designer.
Yep.
He has an hour. He can make it work. Hashtag what's his name? I almost said
Tim
Carson
Gunn.
Kressley. Tim Gunn. Thank you.
It is Tim Gunn.
It is Tim Gunn. Funny story. One time Mike and I were fixing the chaise lounge.
I hate that thing. I'm so glad it's in the trash now.
Oh, we had this sofa when we lived together, and it was a regular sofa, but at the end, we had the two pieces were not meant to go together, but we somehow got them that way. And at the end had, how do you actually say the word? Chase?
I don't know.
Chaise lounge? You know, it's
Cheese.
like the sofa, but
Cheese.
it's
We'll call it
but
a
it's
cheese
long.
lounge.
Gosh, it was so messed up. So Mike and I like rigged it. And the whole time we were rigging it, we kept saying, "You have an hour, make it work."
We're so funny.
That's just a glimpse into our hilarious life.
We're so funny.
We're the funniest people that have ever
I think we should narrow it down here to who should die.
Okay.
And then whoever's left over has to establish peace.
So, let's just go with who I'm okay with dying.
We already know you want to kill the dead dog.
I don't want to kill the dead dog.
You would rather kill the dead dog over Betty White.
I mean,
who, as you can tell from this picture, does not look much healthier than a dead dog.
That's a bad picture of her. It looks like it's almost like if there was a white background, I would be like, oh, Betty got arrested. That looks like a mugshot. But you see, Rowdy has already lived a good life, and he's lived a good second life as a stuffed dog.
So it's only fair that he dies.
Oh, it's only fair. I'm just wondering, like, where do you go from your second life? I mean, there's a game called Second Life, but is there a game called Third Life?
Is there a game called Second Heaven?
Second
Do you think they know about
Heaven.
Second Breakfast?
Second breakfast.
There is a seventh heaven. You're right. So there must be a second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth heaven.
But which heaven is best? Just like which bear is best. It's obviously three. The third bear.
Third bear.
And the third heaven.
From the right.
From the right.
It's
which
a lineup.
is
Baby bear. Baby bear. All right. I'm gonna put Rowdy just because he's lived a good lives.
Well, I was gonna say it would be him, or I would be willing to sacrifice John Ralphio Saperstein.
Now here's the thing. John Ralphio Saperstein is obnoxious, and everything he touches turns to shit.
He probably could negotiate a good relationship with Betty White.
He could negotiate, and also think of Precious, based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire, being left to establish peace with an alien civilization.
Well, I haven't seen Precious. I only know her as a witch from that one season of American Horror Story.
I've seen the movie, and as far as I can remember, it's just her screaming a lot. It's just a lot of screaming.
What's she mad about?
I don't know, something about a baby. I don't remember anything about that movie other than her screaming. But she was nominated and or won an Oscar for it, so I think she won.
What's her name?
Precious, based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire.
Pushed by Sapphire, right. What was I thinking?
Right.
I'm such an idiot.
So I don't know if screaming is the way to go for this alien civilization.
I accidentally stopped recording. It's okay. I put it back on.
Great. Perfect. I'll fix it.
I'm sorry. Don't worry. I didn't say anything during the time when I stopped recording. If anybody's watching, you're welcome. I just know she's got a name, and I can't remember what it is. So you want to sacrifice her, or do you want her and Rowdy to go and Rowdy get sacrificed to save her?
There's no coming back from a dying sun. We saw that in the movie Sunshine.
That was a good movie. Was that a movie with Captain America?
That was the movie that convinced Marvel that he was serious enough as an actor to play Captain America.
Oh, I thought that was Snowpiercer, or did that come after?
No, that was after.
Also, hot take. I know a lot of people liked Snowpiercer.
I know you didn't.
I thought it was shit.
Together, yeah? I think.
No, I watched it with my ex-boyfriend and all his friends that I didn't really like.
Gotcha. That might
I
have
don't
played
think we
into why
watched
you
it
hated
together.
the experience. But
Yeah, I think I just
there's
didn't
a
like
TV show
where I
coming.
was. There's a Snowpiercer TV show?
Snowpiercer TV show. I think it's
Okay.
coming out this year.
Important question. Does it have Tilda Swinton?
I don't know. I'm looking for my phone. It's right in front of me. I don't know.
So I'm surprised also. Maybe if I went back and watched it and rewatched it, I'd like it. Because I definitely saw it after you saw it, knowing you liked it. But the same guy that did Snowpiercer did Parasite.
Right. And which was fantastic.
And he's done something I have seen, because I haven't seen Parasite.
What's his name? Jung Boon Ho or something like that?
I think so. Or something like that.
The new TV show stars Jennifer Connelly, Daveed Diggs, Mickey Sumner, Stephen Ogg. No, it does not look like Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton is involved.
I'm not excited. I gotta say, I'm not excited. If it doesn't have Tilda,
And yeah. Get it? Get it? Because the symbol at the top of the Enye is a tilde.
Oh yeah, I remember having that thought the first time I heard her name.
So
But ever
you think
since
her
then, I
name is
forgot.
pronounced Swinyenton? Swinyenton?
It's gonna be on TNT. It's dynamite. Oh, but Bong Joon-ho is gonna be an executive producer on the TV show.
Okay.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
He's
I'll
also
give it a
making
shot.
Parasite into a TV show.
Is he?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you.
It's an HBO show, too.
Oh, so you know it'll be good.
Yep.
Any Korean TV show or film that I've ever seen, I freaking love.
Ooh, go
I'm
on.
not-
Can you name one?
Yes, actually. What was it called? I have to find it. I watched it in Netflix. Oh, Train to Busan
Never
is
heard
a
of it.
Korean. It's great. It's on Netflix. It's a zombie type of a thing. Zombie outbreak, but it's called Train to Busan. And here, let me just tell you, if you're going to watch something that's a foreign film, don't be one of those losers that puts it on subtitles, okay? And if you get upset that I've just called you a loser for putting it on subtitles, get off it, okay? Get off on it sexually. It's never as good. What year is it?
Are you talking about like people who dub it over instead of subtitles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Watch it subtitled. But let's see. There's nobody that we know from like that has become famous in America. Like
Right.
Bong Joon-ho.
American famous, which is the only
Like
famous that counts. That's where Hollywood is.
Let's be real. That and Bollywood.
Hollywood and Bollywood and Dollywood.
It's got to be Hollywood.
Okay. Yours doesn't exist.
Train to Busan was great.
Okay.
What was this other movie that I just watched? Casey and I just watched it. Oh, what was it called? Forgotten. Thank you. Casey just hollered it at me. Forgotten. Was incredible. Also,
Alto, Balto, Age of Ultron, Oliver Twist.
here's something. Okja
Okja, yes. Okja.
is Korean. It is Korean.
But it
And
takes place in China.
but also it's Bong Joon-ho.
And also with you. It is
And
Bong
also-
Joon-ho. Oh.
Yeah. And also in the butt. So I've seen a couple of Korean movies. There's another movie that Casey and I watched that ended up having like a demonic possession type of a thing in it. But
Hereditary.
which I didn't
It's not
like.
Korean, but-
No, that movie was good though.
Mhm.
I forget what that was called, but it was
Herbie
really
Fully Loaded. The car
Yeah,
was possessed.
it was called Herbie Fully Loaded, the car was possessed.
Shut up.
Actually, it was Old Boy Korean. I think it was. Let's
Yes,
look.
the original. And then they remade it, didn't they? On Hulu or something?
Yeah, they remade it here in the States, and it was terrible. So Old Boy, so Old Boy was actually in a trilogy. There's Old Boy. There is Sympathy for Lady Vengeance,
And then Flowers for Algernon. They're all in the same
And
trilogy.
I beat Algernon. There's sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and then there's sympathy, and then there's Lady Vengeance. So it's a trilogy, and they're very good. They're Korean. I'm not kidding when I say to you that everything I've seen that's Korean, even if it's something that I hate, like Possession, I still love.
What about the movie from James Franco and Seth Rogen about Kim Jong-il?
See, that's North Korea. I'm speaking specifically of South Korea. But was that Kim Jong-il? No, that was Kim Jong-un, wasn't it?
Was it?
It was the current Kim Jong.
I mean, it was like 7 years ago.
I think Kim Jong-un's been the Kim Jong for a while. How long has
he
he been a thing? Tell us in the comments. How long has Kim Jong-un been a thing?
Do you remember that? How like they were threatening a nuclear attack if we released that movie in theaters? And then Sony's like, nope, we're not going to do it. And then people found a way to watch it anyway. And then they hacked Sony and leaked all of Sony's internal emails.
That movie was actually really hilarious.
It was very funny. But we have 2 people left to figure out where they go. Precious, based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire, and John Ralphio Saperstein. I'm okay. It's just like Jean Ralphio, a very specific type of person has to be able to like accept him and not be put off by him.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
because
Precious, she could play a witch or she could scream about a baby. She's very dynamic.
I just feel like she's got more of a range. Not that the actor who plays John Ralphio doesn't have a range.
But John Ralphio himself.
Exactly. John Ralphio himself, I feel like, is very much John Ralphio.
And we can see from this image itself, like, she's very comfortable being chill and silent on a bus. So, like, we could just let Betty White do all the talking.
But she can also get really pissed off and be a witch. I mean, she's just like me. She can put a hex on her iPhone.
That's right. Here's another plus. Betty White and Precious, based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire, are, I think, basically 2 polar opposite people.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to be able to show the alien race that we are a diverse species on Earth.
We've got so much range.
So much range.
We've got this, and everything in between.
Whereas
and also,
John Ralphio and Betty White have the same hair. They're both white.
Yeah. I mean,
they're both going to be dead soon, whether it's from pills or old age.
Pills.
Okay. We're putting Precious, based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire, with the alien civilization.
And John, I feel like a film with John Ralphio Saperstein and Rowdy. Like, if this was made into a movie where the 2 of them had to go and detonate a nuclear bomb and a dying son, I would watch it. I feel like it would be good. But
oh my God, I would watch the shit out of that.
Right? It has to be done in the character of John Ralphio. It can't be Ben Schwartz doing any other thing.
No, it can't be Sonic the Hedgehog and Rowdy. No, get out of here. It has to be John Ralphio.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the tits.
I think we did it. So we have
read it back
investigating a distress call from a neighboring galaxy will be Bryan Cranston and Miss Piggy. Detonating a nuclear bomb in a dying sun to save a freezing Earth is Rowdy and John Ralphio Saperstein. And then establishing peace with an alien civilization is Betty White and Precious, based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire. Very good. Very good teamwork. Now,
I love it.
If you listening at home,
we've never played before.
At home, if you have any differing opinions or you want them placed in other areas, or if you would have a different dream team, let us know. We're going to put up a little post and be like, hey, what would you do in this? How would you make it different? Let us know on Twitter.
Twatter.
But Jesse, it's time for an honest discussion.
Okay, let's discuss things honestly.
Let's do it. Why don't we just do it in the
party?
It's a Beatles song. Let's party. We should at $300.
Yes, you just brought it full circle.
I did. Will the circle be unbroken?
Will the circle be unbroken? By and by, Lord, by and by. That's all I know.
This has been Jesus Bible Hour with Jessica Neal and Chad Michael Littis.
Who sang "Will the Circle"? Well, didn't what's his name that did music in a prison? Johnny
I don't
Cash sing that. I think Johnny Cash covered that song or did a version of it.
I basically just know it from the game BioShock Infinite. So
Right, video games.
this is how people laugh in the future.
We kind of laugh that way now.
We do. Hey, what are we discussing this week?
Yes.
Last week we did, would you be a good drug dealer? We found out that you have a very, very complex villa or compound as a drug kingpin for sure, where people have to swim through a tunnel, hold their breath a long time.
Many, many deaths because
wouldn't
they
you
drowned.
know it? We didn't have any drug dealers respond to us, telling us whether or not they're good or what makes a good drug dealer. But
Must be too smart.
that's probably a good idea. But we have a new topic this week that you guys can participate in. Jesse, what is it?
I would like to know. So this week on internet, on internet, I've been seeing people posting a lot of things like 10 things that most people like that I hate or whatever. Because, in the current society, the way it is now, where literally nobody can do anything, they've taken to the internet. And so I was thinking it would be a fun idea for the two of us to get together and each of us list 5 things. So together we are one person. The male and female person are embodiment of the same person. I have more
We will
dicks
call
than you
ourselves
do.
one affable idiot. We speak for the entirety of our company, Affable Idiots.
Yes. Yes, we are one idiot and we are affable.
And a Berliner. I am a Berliner.
Berlin. That was a Kennedy?
Sure.
It was somebody in Germany and they didn't say something right. And that is how the Berlin Wall came down. So today, Chad, Michelle, Guadalupe, Santana, Inés, and I are going to each go over 5 things that most people like that we hate. And then we're just going to kind of chit-chat it out, see who agrees with whom, where we disagree, who's an idiot that's affable, who's an idiot that's not affable. Just kidding. That's neither of us. Let's be real. What are we? Trump? That's an idiot. That's not affable.
Very good.
Anyways, I'll just list off. Let's do one at a time.
Yeah. Let's just ping pong.
This is gonna be like a game of ping pong. I'm gonna say one. I'm gonna volley it over to you.
Ooh,
You're gonna
volley.
send
Look
one
at you using
back.
them deportes terms.
Hola,
Jesse.
me llamo Jesse. Deportes. So my first thing that most people like that I hate, and I mean hate, is seafood.
Ooh, I am right there with you. Get out of my house, seafood.
Yeah, you smell and you taste bad.
Those are the typical things that you don't want in a person that lives with you.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
You know what I don't understand? I don't understand how people... Have you ever been to a fish market?
Yes.
I don't understand how people go to a fish market or even the seafood section in a grocery store. And they're like, that smells good. I want to eat that. I would love to put that in my mouth, please.
Also, at a lot of fish, now it's not necessarily always like this at a grocery store, because usually at a grocery store, they've already made it not look like a fish anymore,
Right.
and it's just like a fillet.
Right.
But at a fish market,
Ooh.
specifically, let's just talk about Seattle.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You see, it's a fish.
Yeah,
You've got
they
the
literally
eyes.
they throw it. That's the whole thing is them throwing fish.
When I was in Croatia, we went to a restaurant and they brought a couple of the people wanted seafood. Like, what's the fresh catch of the day? Because it's Croatia. It's an island, not an island, but we were at the ocean, and they brought a plate with full fish, dead eyes. Like milked over, like they're dead.
Yep.
Full fish, not cut into, just like a fish. And they were like, this fish is this is this is this. And then you pick the one that you want to eat. And then they cook it for you. Let's just take a moment and think. If somebody brought to your table a whole cow. Can you imagine saying, and I know some people can, and I know some people do, and this is just weird to me, but like looking at a cow, it still has its eyes. It's still in the shape of an animal.
Yep.
And you're like, oh yeah, that ass, I'm going to eat that ass.
I'm going to eat that ass.
I'm just like, ugh. Like, you only do that in a restaurant. It's only done with fish. And I know, like, in the back, they might have, like, pigs hanging or beef hanging or, like, whatever. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But, like,
they did the same thing with, when I went to China with the Peking duck. The whole the whole duck is fried. I mean, you don't like pick the duck, but they bring out the duck and you can see its head.
Eyes
it's
and
like
the whole everything.
Everything. Yep, and they cut off the head and they like cut the breast open. And
I don't even like eating a chicken or a turkey that much when it's still in the shape of the body, even though it's been defeathered.
I don't like eating things on a bone.
No, I don't
like
either.
Eating ribs off of a bone or like fried chicken leg or wing. Or
wings. I love a good boneless wing. And a lot of people think I'm crazy.
It's a chicken nugget. I mean, let's be real.
It is. It is a chicken nugget. But, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm with you. Things on a bone? No. But like you'd never go to, at least not in this country. I don't know about other countries because I haven't been to like meat markets in other countries. But like you'd never see somebody just tossing a cow's leg across an aisle, so right? But you see like fish, they're just throwing them. And I'm like, look, I know some people are okay with that and like it doesn't make them feel weird inside. But if I can see my meat in the shape of itself before it was killed, it gets to me and I think about it. And then I start to think I'm eating something that was alive. This thing is dead now. I really get into it, and then I cannot eat it.
Yep.
But that's not the thing with seafood. Seafood just tastes like shit.
It does. It all just tastes like shit. It tastes like nasty, gross, saltwatery stink.
Anything that's ever lived in water. Because some people like, do you like freshwater fish? It does. And they're like, no, it doesn't. Like, it literally all tastes like dirty butthole.
It does, like a dirty butthole. Whether it's a crab cake or a lobster tail or fish, it all has that same stenchy taste to it, that dirty butthole taste.
The only seafood I've ever been able to there are two seafoods I've been able to like eat at some point in my life and not be immediately disgusted by. One is when I was younger, my dad used to make tuna steaks. And I didn't like it, but you know how you can blacken things, and it's essentially it just tastes like a big hot. It just tastes like hot.
Thing of charcoal, yeah.
Yeah, it just tastes like hot. It's like spices. So my dad would like do it. My dad would blacken tuna steaks, and I could eat that. I ate it a few times, and then finally I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't like it. I could get away with that. I could like force myself to do it because it just tasted like hot. And then and fried calamari from a restaurant I worked at after college, I ate once. And that's just because, it's mostly just fried flour, like whatever you dip it in, you know? And the sauce that it came with was very sweet. So I like doused it in that and was like, okay. But I don't like it. I don't like seafood. I don't enjoy it. I think it smells really bad. I think it's gross. You have to worry about bones in it.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. Get out of here. Or you got to crack it open.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I do enjoy me some sushi. I don't know what it is.
You do. And you like fish in your sushi. Like
I do. I like fish. I like tuna. I like crab. I like that all in my sushi. But I think it might just be that, like, they're in such, like, proportionally, there's such a small part of it that
do you think it tastes different when it's raw versus when it's cooked?
I don't know.
You can't speak to it?
I honestly don't really taste it, I guess. I mostly just taste whatever else is on it. The rice, the avocado, the seaweed, whatever sauce is on top.
Seaweed can get with me as well. I can sometimes have a hard time with seaweed because if it's like some seaweed I'm good with because I like sushi, but I only eat vegetarian sushi.
Right.
Because I can't eat the fish. And sometimes the seaweed still gives me a seafood taste. Because, I mean, it's lived in water. It's a plant from the ocean.
Hence
it's in the name. It's in the name. So even that can sometimes bother me. I'm just picky.
Yep.
And also,
Picky,
seafood is
picky.
awful.
I'm gonna for my first one here. I'm gonna detour us from food.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna say celebrity gossip.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not a fan. Everybody loves celebrity gossip. Oh, who's married to who? Oh, they got a divorce. Oh, so and so is wearing a freaking pink dress out at Dunkin' Donuts today. Like,
I don't care who's wearing what.
no, I don't give a shit. In fact, I kind of when I see those news stories pop up in the news app, and I'm like, Jennifer Garner wears a frilly blue skirt in her workout gear. I'm like, leave the girl alone.
Yeah.
Leave Britney alone.
Leave Britney alone. Also, they don't do that shit to men, so it's very much like it's a very much a sexist thing to do because you only do that with women. And also, who cares?
Right?
That's what I want to know. Who cares?
They're just people. They deserve privacy. No one gives a shit. And
Exactly.
we understand they're all getting divorced because they're all celebrities.
Like, oh, Tom Cruise divorced the girl from Dawson's Creek.
Joey Potter.
We all saw that
Katie
coming.
Holmes. Yes, surprise.
Katie Holmes, that's her name. But I will tell you, if Tom Hanks ever and his wife ever get divorced, I'm going to care about it. Only in that I'm going to care about it for like 5 minutes.
You know, it's also like one step too far where it's like all of these celebrities getting coronavirus. Pink has been diagnosed with corona. It's like people will only pay attention and care if it's somebody that they have listened to their music or seen in a movie. Somebody I know in a movie has it. It's like that day when you came home and you said, "Oh my God, Ashley Olsen died." And it was like, what? And then you looked into it and you're like, oh, just kidding. It was just some French artist named Ashley Olsen that nobody cares about. And it was like, how fucking rude is that? That poor woman who's probably a better person than the Ashley Olsen coked up fucking washed up celebrity that lives out there. And you're just like, oh no, it's just some piece of shit artist lady, Ashley Olsen. It's not the one that matters.
Nobody. Oh, yeah, I feel bad about that. Like, why would I care? Like, why would I care about that? Like, truly though, like, because I don't. I mean, I don't want anybody to die, but like, why would I be like, oh my God, Ashley Olsen died? Like, what was the last thing I've seen of hers?
How the West Was Fun.
Was that one of their movies?
That was one of their movies they did as a kid, yeah.
I used to love their movies when I was a child.
When I was an old child.
Child.
Celebrity gossip,
I'm with
not
you.
a fan.
I don't blame you. Me either.
Give me another.
Me either. All right, here you go. Are you ready?
Yep.
Tube water slides.
Oh, like the big giant plastic ones at water parks.
Yeah. That fully encase you.
Yeah, okay. Why not?
I hate it. I realize it's irrational, but I just know that I'm going to go down one of those and somewhere along the lines, and I think this happened actually in an Always Sunny episode.
Yes, they all get stuck in it.
That like something's going to happen and I'm going to get trapped and I'm going to die in there. I know that is an irrational fear. I know it is. But, or like, because the ones that are in tubes they're usually tubes because you go up so high. Yeah. And so you're in a tube so that you don't like fly off and die. So I'm also like, okay, what if I fly off and like bang my face on it and like break my neck or like get bloody? I'm just like, I feel like they're a death trap. I like I know they're not, because if they were a death trap, clearly they wouldn't be a thing. I can't. I remember in high school, I think it was the summer before we went to college. A bunch of my friends and I went to what's the big water park in Charlotte or near Charlotte? Wet and Wild.
Wet and Wild, yep.
Wet and Wild. And it might not even be near Charlotte. I forget where it is. But we went to Wet and Wild. And there were two really tall ones that that are in the tube, and a bunch of my almost all my friends went. Like, come on, Jesse, let's do it. Let's do it. It's like, y'all, no. I'd rather go swim in this pee water with these kids. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I hate them. They scare me. I'm scared. I'm like tense just talking about it.
I'm always anxious going up to them. Like, because I have the flashbacks to being a kid on the playground, and you slide down just the ones without water. It's just a regular slide. And you get to the bottom, and you're so staticky, and you touch anything metal, and you electrocute yourself, and it's the worst shock you've ever felt. So I always like as I'm looking at them and thinking about going down, it's like I'm gonna feel every single little like crease. I'm gonna hit every rivet, and at the end of it, it's gonna be. But then I go down and I was like, that was so fun. So I enjoy them, but I'm always anxious going up to them.
I'm so terrified of them. I don't like them at all. I can't stand them. They scare me. Even the ones like just regular slides, but that have the top on them on a playground. Growing up, I hated them.
Well, those are small enough that like when they do twist and turn, it's very easy to get stuck in them.
Right?
Yep.
Because also without the water, you're not going as fast. And then those, you're like, if you're in shorts especially, which usually you are if you're like most of the time, and your skin gets stuck, and then you know what? Yeah, and like it can do that, and then you know that thing where you're like rubbing on something, but it's just enough that it sort of like takes off just the first layer of your skin.
Yep.
And then that's like it's not deep, but it
it's
really
over the
freaking
pants hand
hurts.
job.
An OTPH.
OTPH, yeah.
Oh, I hate those. I hate them. They scare me. You will cash me outside.
Cash me outside.
Okay?
Speaking of water, not a big fan of bidets. I hate bidets.
Ooh. I can't speak to them. I've never tried one.
I had one. Posen had one at his house, and we all went up one at a time and tried it. And then when I was in China, they had them everywhere. And,
yeah, they're not huge on toilet paper there.
Well, I mean,
in most
everywhere
countries,
I went, they had toilet paper, but
yeah. Well, in my experience traveling, as somebody who works in the travel industry in Chicago, most countries outside of our country, specifically like most Asian, African, several European, but like Eastern countries, don't really use toilet paper. They just use like water, but they always have like one or two stalls for the silly Americans, the silly UK folk who need their dead trees.
Yes,
I need my dead trees.
Unless you get off the plane at the Beijing airport, you go to the public restroom, and it's literally a hole in the ground with two divots that you put your feet in beside it, and you're like, I mean, it's not like outside in a latrine. Big. It's like it's a tiled public restroom with stalls, and then you go into the stall, and it's like
a hole in the ground.
Literally a hole in the ground. It's like, whoa.
I've encountered that so much traveling. Like I encountered that in France. I definitely encountered that in Sri Lanka, and in other places as well. And like, as a person that doesn't have a penis that I can aim to pee, like, trying to pee. Like so when I was in high school, I went on a trip to Europe with a bunch of like other school kids. And we went to Arles, which is where Van Gogh lived.
Where's Arles?
It's in, is it southern France? It's somewhere in France, but it's where Vincent Van Gogh lived. And there's a small Colosseum there, sort of like the one in Rome, but much smaller, like significantly smaller. So we went in to tour around it, and there's a bathroom in there, and everybody was like, okay, you need to go to the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom. But here, it was a stall, but it was like a horse stall in that you close a wooden door. You're not in a separate like room. It's just like two stalls. People are right on the other side. There's a big space down below, and above the door, it's just everything. And I was like, I'm sorry. What? I wasn't expecting it. And I had to take my pants off. I was like, I'm going to pee on myself. I can't even imagine doing a number 2 down there.
Yeah.
But it's so natural for other people. It's just so interesting because it's like just like different parts of the country have different things. I mean, different parts of the world have different things that are standard for them. It's weird. Yep. What didn't you like about a bidet?
There are a couple of things. One, I didn't find anything that felt comfortable. There was either the spray, because on every one that I've ever used, you have multiple options of how you want it to be. Like, it could be a fine mist, like a spray. It could be a stream that goes right up into your colon. And I couldn't find a comfortable in between. I couldn't find a comfortable temperature. Like, even hot water or warm water just felt weird. And then,
hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you just not comfortable with anal play?
Maybe I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
But then there's you still need toilet paper afterwards, because then your butt's wet. And then here's what happens. Your butt's soaking wet. you wipe it with toilet paper, and the toilet paper breaks apart into a million pieces, and you accidentally put your finger up your butthole. It totally is.
That sounds like a good time. I've never tried a bidet. I've been curious about bidets. With this whole everybody's buying all the toilet paper.
They call it bi-curious.
Bi-curious. I've been bi-curious.
Same letters.
Bidet. I have been curious about it because I'm like, okay, everybody's buying up all the toilet paper, which it's not an issue. We're fine. But it's like, what if the apocalypse happens and we have no toilet paper, but we still have running water in the apocalypse?
Yep.
Whatever. So I'm just like, I'm curious. I would be interested to try something like that. I haven't, though. And I was talking with my family the other day. We had a big family Zoom for my brother's birthday. And we were all joking about it. And Chris, my brother whose birthday it was, he was like, I live, behind my apartment. There's just hundreds of acres of forest. So I can just go out there every day and grab some leaves and we're all set.
Careful not to grab poison ivy.
Yeah, my other brother made a good joke about the leaves that come in threes. They're really good for wiping your butt and washing yourself.
Yep.
Classic family, but classic potty humor.
Very good. Very good.
Bidets.
Okay. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, or any TV show that is about people trying to find love, like Love at First Sight.
Okay.
Love is Blind, which is a new Netflix thing. Anything like that.
My sister,
but specifically The Bachelor.
There's the Married at First Sight one.
Yes.
My sister's friend from high school was on that, and they're still successfully married.
Well, good for them. But I'm not saying that people don't find love on them, because I guess they do. Because your sister's friend from high school. I just think I hate those shows. The whole, I hate them. I can't get behind, especially The Bachelor. And cool, we've got The Bachelorette, which is the female version of it, but The Bachelor came first, and it's one man with a ton of women trying to find who he wants. And it's all these women being like, I have to have him, and sort of diminishing themselves to get this guy. And that hardly ever works out. And then The Bachelorette came after that, a couple of seasons after that, I think, so that we could have equal opportunity or some bullshit. I don't know. I hate it because I feel like shows like that, I don't know. Perhaps this is naive.
You know why they do it? They don't go on it to find love. They do it so that it can be like, oh yeah, I was on The Bachelor, and they do it for the celebrity, and they do it for the talk show appearances afterwards, and all of that kind of stuff.
I watched one season of The Bachelor 8.5 to 9 years ago. It was right before I moved here to Chicago. I was like, let me just see what this is all about because everybody loves it. My sister, maybe both of my sisters-in-law really like the show. I know a ton of people that love it. I've got colleagues that watch Married at First Sight and all these other shows. And then, of course, they watch Love is Blind. And I'm just like,
yeah.
I have a problem with it.
And meanwhile, they haven't watched The Outsider or The Leftovers or Watchmen or anything that's good.
Now, I don't judge people that watch it. I don't judge people that have been on it. I'm not going to judge people for it because that's not who I am. I hate it. I feel like it diminishes in many ways a lot of things. It's such bullshit. I just think it's bullshit.
Yep.
In most cases. The only reason I would ever be on The Bachelor is so that I could come in second and therefore be the next Bachelorette. I think that's how it happens. Whoever comes in second, you fuck everybody
whistle
over.
Blow the whole thing, the whole operation.
I will blow literally every scene I'm in. I'll just have a coach's whistle.
A dog whistle. In the middle of every date, just get attacked by a pack of dogs.
I'll have a dog whistle, and then that's how I'll know who all the men, I'll know who all the dogs are.
Oh, very good, very good. I've only seen parts of Bachelorette or Bachelor episodes. But when I was a kid, and we used to be my parents are still really into it, but we used to be really into Survivor and The Amazing Race. And
didn't you and your sister audition for The Amazing Race?
We have a really great audition video for The Amazing Race. After one of them, for a couple of seasons, was something called Joe Millionaire. And that's the one where it's The Bachelor, but the guy is supposedly a millionaire, and the girls are like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to be with him." And then at the end, he picks somebody. And he's like, "Listen, I'm actually like a farmer from North Dakota. Do you still love me?"
And then
He
did
was
they?
never a millionaire the whole time. I think they always said yes on the show, and then I'm sure they're not together.
And they never ended up together. See, a show like that also, that's just a show based on deception. Like,
Yep.
that's not how you start up a relationship. So I would have been pissed. Like, not because I wouldn't be like, no, I don't love you. If I actually love you, I will still love you even if you're a farmer, but I'm gonna be fucking pissed, and that might be enough for me to step away.
Yep.
But also, I think, like, if you present somebody, like, because he wasn't a millionaire farmer, I imagine, right? Like, that's not how
He
they
was just a
presented him.
regular ass blue collar dude.
Well, I mean, like, when they presented him as a millionaire, they didn't present him as still a farmer. It's not
Right,
like I'm
exactly.
a millionaire farmer versus I'm not a millionaire farmer.
Right.
So, like, that could be like some people, because being a farmer, even if you're a millionaire versus you're not, it's I keep hitting my microphone. It's a completely different lifestyle, you know? Or, like, I guess lifestyle. So if, like, you present yourself as this millionaire, what's a job that's not farming?
Wall Street executive.
Wall Street executive versus just a regular farmer. I mean, like, let's just break that down. A millionaire Wall Street executive lives in a city, lives in like, you know, versus a farmer does not live in a city. They live out in the middle of nowhere. And so it's things like that that can fuck things up on top of the deception.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't like stuff. I hate shows based on deception. Like, I don't like that even more than I don't like The Bachelor. It's just, let's just leave love to off the screens or made up in the movies, you know?
Done.
Except, you know, your sister's friend from high school found love. How long have they been married, though? When was she on this?
I feel like it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
See, I feel conflicted now. Because if people have actually found love, then I don't want them to go away. Because that's valid love.
Let's do a Google and find out if Courtney Hendricks and what's-his-face are still together.
And how long?
Courtney
It's
Hendricks,
just like-
Married at First Sight alum. March 18th, 2020. Oh, I guess they've just been in a relationship for a while. Well, no, that's not impossible.
Yeah, you get married. But you can at the end of however many days.
No, she just got engaged to a different guy.
See? There's Married at First Sight. There's 90-Day Fiancé. See?
She said, March 6, 2014, I received a call from Kinetic Content that I was going to be married at first sight. I remember because it was the day before my mom's birthday. Yeah, so they got married, and then I guess they got a divorce, and now she's engaged to her boyfriend of 1 year.
Good for her. I feel like these shows are cheap. That's all.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I know that might offend people, and I'm really sorry. I don't judge anybody. It's just how I feel about it. So I don't like it. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is coffee. That shit's nasty.
You do hate
That
coffee.
shit's nasty. It is for all the same reasons of seafood. It tastes bad. It smells bad. It's like a dirty butthole. It comes from ground beans.
It does come from ground beans.
It's
Oh,
one
I
of those
love
things that, like,
coffee.
people walk into a coffee shop and they're just like, I just love the smell of coffee. And I walk in and I'm like, how much longer do we have to be in here? This is disgusting.
Yep.
It's so gross
that's
to me.
awful, though. I'm so sorry. Like, having to walk into I feel like you probably encounter a coffee shop more frequently than you would encounter, like, a seafood smell. At least based off of me.
Every time I
drink
walk through the
coffee.
frozen, like the meat section at the grocery store, I smell the seafood smell. But I don't go
You're
to
right.
coffee shops at all, so.
That's right. That's right. So you probably
Because
encounter
I don't
it more.
drink coffee,
and
I don't drink tea. The only reason I would ever go to Starbucks is for like a hot chocolate or a cinnamon apple spice. Or sorry, caramel apple spice. That's what it is. Which is
So you only go in the
hot apple
cooler
juice.
months. Cooler
But even
months.
now, I don't do like one of my points of pride a couple of years ago is that I lost my gold status at Starbucks, and I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't tell you the last time I bought something from Starbucks.
Because we're going to work from home, shelter in place.
No, prior to that. I moved in with my boyfriend and started making coffee before I went to work.
Oh my God. Yeah, I hate it. And everyone's like, well, try this. Try coffee ice cream. And it was like, took one bite. This is disgusting. Try
I love coffee
tiramisu.
ice cream.
Nope, tastes disgusting.
I
Tastes
love
this mocha,
tiramisu.
whatever, or this espresso. No, it all tastes. It all is like. It's like when people say, "Oh my God, taste this drink. You can't even taste the alcohol." And like, bitch, that tastes like straight up vodka. I don't know what kind of Kool-Aid you think you're drinking, but that's vodka. Like, no, you
Vodka.
can't even taste it. And that's all I taste. I taste like if it's a mocha mint something. It's like somebody put a lot of poison in a mint leaf, and that's what
Somebody's
I'm
trying to
drinking.
kill you. Yeah.
And
I
even
love
coffee
coffee.
milk, like in Rhode Island. Have you ever heard of coffee milk? It's disgusting. It's the you know how as kids you at school in the cafeteria or you have milk, chocolate milk, sometimes strawberry milk. Well, in Rhode Island
Ugh,
they have
I hated
coffee
strawberry
milk.
milk.
They
Oh,
have coffee milk that kids drink all the time. It's coffee flavored milk. And when I was up there in February, they were like, "You gotta have it." We went to a donut shop and got coffee milk, and it was disgusting. It tasted
That
exactly
sounds
like
awful.
coffee.
in my
and milk.
opinion, milk should only come in two forms: regular or chocolate. And regular can be skim, 1%, 2%, whatever.
It can't be skim. That's water lying about being milk. Ron Swanson, Parks and Rec.
Yeah, that is Ron Swanson. I don't care what percent your regular milk comes, but regular milk, fresh from the teat of an animal
Yes.
or a human or an almond or chocolate. I hate it. I've always hated strawberry milk.
I hate
Like
chocolate
coffee milk sounds. You don't like chocolate milk?
I hate chocolate
I
milk.
think I knew that. I love
Yeah.
chocolate milk,
It's
but I haven't had
Kanan's
it in a
favorite
long
thing
time.
on earth. But I can't.
Wow, you should be upset about that. I would think that you would be Kanan's favorite thing on earth.
I mean,
How can you
I'm
compete
a
with
super
chocolate
person.
milk?
And also, how can I compete with chocolate milk? I love milk, like regular ass milk.
Milk.
Yeah, so coffee, not a fan.
I love coffee, but I definitely understand how people don't like it. Like I have to put milk in my coffee because I don't like it just like black. It's too bitter.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like coffee.
And now here's the thing. At work through our health center, they were offering free like genetic testing. And I do possess the DNA that is more sensitive to bitter things. So that might just mean that like I'm ultra sensitive to coffee, and that's why I hate
How
it.
do you feel about cilantro?
I'm a fan. I also found out I don't have the gene that makes me hate cilantro, so that makes sense.
Nice. That's a sad gene to have. Cilantro's so good.
Yeah.
Fucking good.
What's your number 4?
All right, I'm going to bring it back to food for just a second.
Okay.
Marinara.
This is one where we just can't agree.
I know. Most people don't agree with me on this. You give me a tomato raw, fucking love it. You cook me a tomato? No, thank you.
What if it's like a sun-dried tomato basil wrap?
I do like margarita pizza, and that has sun-dried tomatoes on it. I do like that. But I have
And you're
had
generally a fan of
salad.
pizza.
Generally, yes, but I don't like a saucy pizza. Like whenever we would do Chicago deep dish, if it was too saucy, I didn't like it.
Like a saucy
However,
Hanks.
saucy. Bella Bacino's, their sauce is sweet. So it's like they put so much sugar in it, it sort of overpowers the cooked tomato-ness of it. So I can get away with it there. I've had salads though with bits of sun-dried tomato in it, and I don't like it because I think sun-dried tomatoes on a pizza are like on a margarita pizza specifically are very thinly sliced. So when you get a bite of that, it's just a small thin sun-dried tomato, but you also have the crust and the cheese and the basil. So there's more going on.
Like
when I get it,
sushi.
Yeah, exactly. Like your argument with sushi.
Yep.
But when I'm eating a salad or something else that has separate bits of it that aren't cooked into it, it's just sort of in there together. They're usually thicker pieces of sun-dried tomato with like a lettuce that's not necessarily super flavored and other things. And that flavor hits me really strong. I don't like it. And like there are times. So when Casey cooks things that have tomatoes in it, he like really cooks it, sort of cook the tomatoes down because he knows I don't like it. And if when you cook the tomatoes really down, in like a stew or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't notice it. So I think in a situation like
in a
that,
chili or something like that.
Exactly. Because I love chili. So when it's really cooked down, I don't notice it so much because it's cooked down and it's really mixed in with other things. But if you do like a can, you know how you can buy canned like whole tomatoes or like half tomatoes, so it's like a big thing. I don't like canned tomatoes, but if you get those and you put them in something, and even if you cook that down and I get a big piece of tomato, I'm like, nah, brah. So I put it to the side. But marinara,
on your side, like if I'm eating spaghetti or some kind of pasta, and there is I don't like chunky sauce. If it's big chunks of tomato, get out of my house. I did not invite you into my house.
Yeah.
But marinara usually is just like it's like a nice liquidy pasty yum
sauce. Yeah. But see, I can't see my issue with marinara is it's pretty much just tomato. Whereas with like a chili or a stew or something like that, it's not just the tomato. And so you can cook it in with other things and you don't notice it as much. But spaghetti, the dish, it's just very cooked tomato-y with a noodle. And I do not like it. I do not like it. I never have. I don't like it.
What about meat sauce?
I can get into a meat sauce depending on how tomato-y it is.
Okay.
If it's like a really tomato-y meat sauce, I won't like it. But, I mean, I love pastas. And I had a friend in college, when I said I didn't like spaghetti, she thought I meant the noodle. I was like, no, the dish. She's like, what? And she did not understand. I was like, I'm fine with the noodle spaghetti. Like, I like pastas. Like, oh, I don't like spaghetti, but I like fettuccine. It tastes the fucking same. It's just a different shape. But a cooked tomato, I'm telling you, I love, and I don't know if this is a Southern thing or just a summer thing, but a tomato sandwich where you just have
mayonnaise,
bread,
and pepper, and tomato.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Do you not like them?
I
love them.
I'm not a mayonnaise person, so.
Oh, well, I don't like a lot of mayonnaise. Like, I hate when you order a sandwich or a hamburger or something and it has mayonnaise on it, and it's like big and gloopy, and you take a bite and a shit ton of it falls out. And I hate that. So what I like is I like to take mayonnaise, spread it on the bread, get, the remnants off the knife. You see my motion? Yep. And then after it's all off the knife, I like to go over my bread again, get off the excess. I just want my bread to be just slightly damp with it when I have it. I don't
just get one of those like spray bottles for your hair, but put mayonnaise in it. Just
put mayonnaise in it. Gross.
Just a light misting of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
I don't like snuggling. Not a fan of snuggling. No. Here are the reasons. It's too hot. Way too hot. If you get warm, uncomfortable, and there's no way to relieve the hot than asking the person to leave. Like, even just separating a few inches, you're already hot, you're already damp and sweaty. It's gross. Especially being under a blanket. No, and I can't sleep well whenever you're under a blanket and you're hot. Nope, get out. But also,
does this go back to what you and Kanan were talking about, where like, not that you need to make compromise, but that you've just never maybe you've never felt comfortable with a person like close enough to be like, look, I'm hot.
No.
Really?
Nope. I will hug the shit out of somebody, but I'm just like, no, it's too much. Snuggling is too much. And then here's the other thing, as the man, obviously, in the relationships.
Have you hit somebody before?
I don't think so, but it's on my bucket list for sure.
How do we know you're a man if you haven't hit someone?
Oh, you're right. I put an axe in a wall. Does that count? Not even out of anger. It was out of joy.
I thought. That was with Kanan when you guys were like high on each other's dicks, right?
By each other's dicks, you mean friendship and joy? Then yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah. Or the music of Powerline from a Goofy movie. Then yeah.
That's such a good movie.
But no, as the man in the relationship, you often have to be the big spoon or the person who lays on your chest or your arm, and then your arm gets uncomfortable or falls asleep, and then like you have to move it And then you don't want to move it because you care about the other person and their comfort, so you just want to like suck it up for a while, and then you're like, well, I guess I'm going to sleep miserably tonight, and that's it. And then also, when I sleep, I don't sleep in like one position. I'll sleep on my right side for like a good like 5 or 6 minutes. I'm like, okay, now it's time to try out the left, and then I'm going to go right back to my stomach, and then we're going to settle on the right. And then in the middle of the night, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to switch over. Yeah, it's like you can't do that when you're snuggling. That shit sucks.
Well, see, the way that I, in my current relationship, do it is like sometimes we'll be laying in bed watching something before bed. And Casey will have his arm around me. And then he'll be like, my arm's falling asleep. And then move it. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I move over. Because you got to get yourself a partner that's like, all right, cool. And then sometimes at night, we'll start to snuggle a little bit, and we'll snuggle. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to roll over into my sleep position. And then I roll over, and then that's it. And then we sleep. Or we're cuddling on the sofa, and then I'm like, I'm hot. I got to move over here. It's just like we cuddle when we want to cuddle and be close. And then like if you're hot or uncomfortable or whatever, like I got to move. I'm going to go sit over here. I'm going to
I 100% believe that's how you and Casey talk to each other.
Probably, honestly, we've talked like that before.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised. Today he was telling our dog in plain English, again, as though she can understand him, how to put the grill cover back on the grill. It's the little things.
Yep.
Cuddling. I do love a good cuddle. I love it. But see, I like to cuddle until I'm done cuddling. And then I'm like, okay.
Yeah. My done cuddling moment is usually just within like about 45 seconds. So.
Yeah.
But I've also never really been the little spoon.
I love being the big spoon.
It's like, I don't know, maybe it would be different.
I love
because then you just get a hot butt.
Or you get a boner in your butt.
Or you get a boner in your butt if there's a dude behind you.
Hey, well, I'm a lady and I've got 7 boners.
That's right. And they come from all over.
All over the body. You never know where a boner's going to come from.
What's your number 5?
All right, my number 5 are movies that involve the devil, demons, or possession. Anything demonic.
You hate them.
I hate them. I will still watch them because I like scary movies. But that part of it really ruins it for me, and I won't watch them again. Like that one movie I was telling you about that I can't remember the name of. It's a Korean film. I will find it and I will tell you what it was. But I loved it. It was so good. It was really, really good. And then in the end, you find out that some character has been the devil all along. Ruined it for me. And it's like, it scares me. Like, that legitimately scares me. Like, in scary movies, things don't really scare me. But, and this isn't to say that I believe in, like, demonic possession or anything like that. But I come from a background that is religious and faithful and whatnot. So, it's just a little bit more real to me, than, like, oh, this person, like, broke into my house and murdered me and my family. It's a little bit different than that. It's so scary, but
one of them is a lot more realistic. But
yeah, but I'm less scared of it.
Right.
It really freaks me out. I get scared like when that happens. Walking by a room in my own apartment that just doesn't have the light on.
Yeah.
Like going to the bathroom, the shower curtain's closed. I'm like, fucking the devil's over there. I'm about to get possessed.
The devil's over there.
It's super irrational. I know. But I hate it. It ruins a movie for me. And I don't care if it's like my favorite movie ever up until the point that something I will never watch Hereditary again. I loved that movie.
Yep.
But I will never watch it again because what happened in the end. I can't. I hate it. It ruined it for me. Like, it didn't ruin the movie because the movie is still good. The movie is still what it is. But it ruined it for me, and I will never watch it again. But I can still admit
demonic
that it was a really good movie.
And a poorly descriptive title and just ruin things for you.
Oh,
What came at night?
That movie. I still remember that movie as not being a good movie. because it didn't, whatever it was, didn't
It
come
comes
at night.
Yeah, I thought it was a great movie, but you and Tom were just like, what? What came at night? Nothing came at night.
I bet it was a good movie. I truly bet it was. But nothing came at night. It just came any time of day. I was like, this is stupid. That really did grind my gears. It really burned my chaps.
Damn it, I was looking forward to wearing those chaps. They're all burned
But they're burnt now. Assless chaps.
They're just called chaps. They're all assless.
Right? Unless you buy Chaps brand pants. Because that's a thing, isn't it?
If you buy 2 chaps and wear one backwards.
Ooh.
And then one's a dickless chaps. No, because then that would be a dick full chaps. You would see a lot of dick. But then assless chaps, you see a lot of ass. It's so hard.
Well, because assless chaps means that the ass of the pants aren't there.
Yeah, yep.
So that's the assless.
So the other one would be maybe crotchless pants.
It would be crotchless, yeah. Yeah, because you could be having a vagina if you have the chaps on as well. Right, Everybody has an ass.
Everybody has an ass hoe. It's a booty hole.
What's wrong with the booty hole? It's the booty hole. Yep.
Last one for
Devil,
me.
Demons, Possession. No.
Those are some of the best movies for me. Some of the best.
I know
movies.
you love them.
My last one, Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. Not a fan. Not a fan. Mostly, here's what it is. It's not funny.
Is it Ray? Yeah.
But also, they all have weird ass voices. Hey, I'm Ray Romano. Hey, I'm his brother. I'm the old mom.
I'm the dad. I don't even know the dad's voice.
I don't even know what the dad looks like. But
I never watched Everybody Loves Raymond. I never watched any. I might have seen like snippets of it. But I have trouble with Ray Romano because in Parenthood, I didn't want Sarah Braverman to be with him.
Oh,
and
that's right.
I wanted her to be with the is that Michael J. Fox's son? Who was that guy?
Michael B. Jordan was in it.
No, the teacher.
Is that Michael J. Fox's son?
It was somebody's son.
He had the pirate facial hair?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Parenthood. It's some actor that was big in the 90s. It's their child. Let's see here. Oh, also the guy that played Adam Braverman, I hated him. I hated that character.
The guy from 6 Feet Under.
Yes, I hated his character.
I hated his character too.
I
never really finished. There were like six episodes left of that show that I haven't seen, and this never will.
Oh, 6 Feet Under?
No, I saw 6 Feet Under, and that's amazing, and those are the best 6 episodes. But Parenthood.
Oh, Parenthood.
Yeah.
Yeah. That show went off. That show went down. This guy is Jason Ritter. So not Michael J. Fox. It's what's his dad's first name? No. Did you ever see? Let's see. Early life. John Ritter. He died. He was in. Did you ever see like 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter? I think he was in.
Oh yeah. No, I'm thinking that's a Belushi.
Was he in?
I'm thinking of the Belushi. Who's John? Oh, John Ritter. Yeah. Okay.
Look him up. You'll know his face.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who was in that thing.
Yeah, he's like generic white man that was in that thing in the 90s or the 70s or the 80s.
And you see his face and you're like, oh yeah, he was in that thing. I can't think of anything he was in, but I've seen him a lot.
It's that guy, exactly. Like you've seen him in a ton of shit.
It's also a very good documentary, that guy who was in that thing.
Is that a documentary?
It's about all of these guys who have been in, like, literally you go to their IMDb page and it's like 90 to 100 movies, but you don't know their name and you can't point it. So it's called That Guy Who Was in That Thing.
I love it. Not Jason Ritter. I want to see what John Ritter's been in that we could actually call to mind. Because like 8 Simple Rules, I remember. Yeah, there it is.
Sling Blade.
Was he in Sling Blade? So he was in 8 Simple Rules, and he died while filming that TV show.
I remember that. Yep. He was in Bad Santa. That was his final live-action movie.
Santa. That was his only live-action film?
That was his final one before he died. It was released after he died.
I was like, what? I'm pretty sure he's in a lot. Oh, Three's Company. That was the big TV show he was on. Problem Child. He was the dad in Problem Child.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So that is who I wanted his son in the show Parenthood to be with Sarah Braverman. But then they kept breaking up, and then she ended up with that Ray Romano character. I was like,
I am Ray Romano.
and he had that. Oh, this was like, but I did like Ray Romano in Ice Age when he played one of the
I'm a woolly mammoth.
Woolly mammoth. I think it was buffalo with the tusks, and I knew buffalo was not right. Yeah,
that's 10
I can
things
get
that we
behind
hate
on
that you love.
What are things that you hate?
What do you hate
That we love.
everybody loves? That everybody loves, not including Raymond, or you can agree with us. Go to twitter.com/Affable Idiots. Let us know.
I wanna know.
This is our longest
I
episode
wanna
to date.
know. Yeah, it is.
Finally.
An ooer and a hoof.
Let's end with a conversation starter. But before we do that, I want to tell you about Affable Idiots. Again, we are, and also with you, and we are an Affable Idiots podcast. What we need from you is to go to youtube.com, search for Affable Idiots, search for AAWI, search for Respawn Aimfire, which are our 3 channels, and I need you to go subscribe to them because we need 100 subscribers on each. And we have
I've subscribed. Have you?
I seen it. Yes, I have. I have subscribed. We have 18 on Respawn Aimfire. I think we have 8 or 9 on this one. We need 100. And once we get to 100, we can finally have youtube.com/whatever we want. If
we get 100 likes, Mike will, what's something ridiculously crazy that you'll do?
I will swallow this census.
Mike will chew up and swallow his census paper.
I will. I've already done it online, so I can do that without legally having any kind of repercussions. But I will do it if we get when we get 100. If we get 100 before the end of April, that's what I'll do.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, and we'll put out a tweet about it, I guess, and see. But,
if you want to see Mike eat paper.
Yeah. Woo! Can't wait. So much fiber. But yeah, let's get into our conversation starter. So you can tweet us questions that you have or discussion topics you'd like us to kind of start with and then see where the fuck they end up. And usually they're way off base. But this week we have one from Porkchop 1864 on Twitter.
Ooh. Is this Doug? Is that Doug's dog? Porkchop?
Yes, it is.
Doug Funny's dog?
Yep, Doug Funny's dog. His
Love
question
it.
is, where is Old Zealand? We have New Zealand, but we don't have Old Zealand.
Probably underneath New Zealand.
Underneath, in the Earth's crust?
Yeah, if I had to guess, New Zealand came in probably due to the English probably came and conquered it, squashed down all of the nativeness, sort of like they did everywhere else, and thus became New Zealand. That actually is a good question.
Yeah.
Because New York is Old York essentially is York in the UK.
Right. Then there's Yorktown in South Carolina? The USS Yorktown?
I think so.
Let's find out.
And then
I'm on
New
Encyclopedia
England.
Britannica right now. Yeah, the New England area is, obviously, there's England.
Yeah.
Where's Old?
That's really interesting. I've never thought about that.
Think about New Orleans? Where's Old Orleans?
Yeah.
New Jersey? So many, but we're talking
Where's
about
Old Jersey?
We're talking about Zealand right now. Where's Zealand? I'm on Encyclopedia Britannica, which is a trusted source that somehow has not gone out of business.
The Britannica. Oh yeah, you search Old Zealand and that's the first thing that comes up.
Do you remember when you had to actually look through books for answers to shit like this? And they had
that was
1998 edition. Oh God, when you got the encyclopedia on CD-ROMs that you could put into your computer.
Yes.
Oh,
I had that, and there was also a fun game on it you could play. I forget what it was, and it probably wasn't a fun game. I was probably ooh, a video game. Ah! New Brunswick. The map is littered with places that are derived from older places. New Brunswick, New Hampshire, New Orleans. Okay.
Dutch explorers and colonial officials were responsible for New Netherland, which is now New York. New Amsterdam, which is now New York City, and New Harlem, which is now just Harlem.
Interesting.
And this says, although the British would ensure that those names would be chiefly remembered in song, if at all. Even Old New York was once New Amsterdam. And although they replaced the Dutch name New Holland with Australia, New Zealand retained Dutch origins.
The Dutch were apparently incredibly brutal.
Ooh.
Like worse than the English.
Were they?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a Dutch
According
crunch
to
roll,
my
though?
sources in Dutch what?
A Dutch crunch roll?
Don't even know what that
You
is.
can, like, get a sandwich on it. It's like a sub roll. It's so good. I had a meatball sub here on a Dutch crunch roll.
According to my sources in Sri Lanka, the Dutch were worse. Maybe it was the Portuguese.
I have an
I think
answer.
it was the Dutch. Yes,
In
okay.
December 1642, Dutch navigator Abel Jansoen Tasman was the first European to sight New Zealand's South Island, and Dutch cartographers named the territory after the Dutch maritime province of Zeeland.
Located just northwest of the Belgian city of Antwerp.
Antwerp. You little twerp.
I know. I love that name. Zeeland is more than 11,000 miles from New Zealand. But why is it called New Zealand? Like, I get that he called it Oh, it's New Zealand because of Zealand.
Yep. It's
Okay.
They say it's 11,000 miles from it. And then they also give a little fact. To provide some perspective on that figure, the maximum distance between any 2 points on Earth is about 12,450 miles. So New Zealand is about as far as you can be from Zealand without leaving the Earth.
Interesting.
That's so weird. Oh, they have a little map here. Oh, but I don't see Zealand on it because that's the Middle East. Why do they have that?
Yeah, I don't understand what the Middle East map's about.
Yeah, they have like 7 paragraphs about the Middle East.
Well, maybe we should read it and then report back.
We are. I was going to say millennials, but then I read the word Netherlands, and then I almost said Neanderthals.
Well, I mean, if the shoe fits,
Oh.
then that's not what we are because they are extinct.
Oh my God. I have to text you something after this that somebody said.
Okay. I love knowing things people say.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Like because of the history of like New York, whatever. It makes
Here's the
sense that
thing.
there would be a Zealand somewhere.
Everybody knows New Zealand, or at least Australia, which is just like daddy New Zealand. But nobody really knows anything about the Dutch other than like a Dutch oven.
Freaky deaky Dutch.
Freaky deaky Dutch. Farting under a blanket and keeping it there.
Or the Dutch oven, the thing you cook in.
Or Dutch oven, the thing you cook in. Do you think the Dutch were worse just because nobody really gives them the respect they deserve?
I don't know. Do they deserve respect? Like, that sounds awful. That's not what I mean.
I get no respect.
And as far as the history of time goes, and travel, and the
history of
ability
time.
to like, and the ability to like know of the other countries and things around you, like, do you think that they had existed long enough in history at this point that they became, you know, when their history became bad, to have had enough people know about them to respect them, or were they just mean like the English?
Maybe that's why everyone forgot them. They're like, listen, dude, if you're going to be an asshole, we're not going to remember you.
Yeah, that's why nobody remembers England or the UK.
Damn it.
JK Rowling. I don't
Because
know.
I've never heard of, no one's ever heard of Zealand. It's also spelled Z-E-E land.
It's weird. Do you know what? Like, most other countries are much older than our country. And if our country had been, I mean, and let's be real, our country did this to the Native Americans. So, like, we're just as awful as historically as other countries. But, like, the UK, they've been around forever. Like, England has been around for a long time. And the Dutch and, like, all these different, like, European countries that colonized and terrorized and did all of this. Mm-hmm. If our country had been in existence before 1775, I'm sure that our country would have also tried to colonize. I mean, our country did colonize. Let's be real. Our country colonized this country, and we stayed. But like what the English did, like going into Africa and Australia and all throughout Europe, and I'm sure our country would have tried to do the same thing.
Yep.
Because people are greedy for power but not bad at heart. I hope. I mean, like bad at heart. Like if you're greedy and you're bad and you're evil, you're bad at heart.
Right.
But, like,
or you just like have cardiac arrest.
yes, or you just have a bad heart.
Yeah.
But like bad people get into positions of power and then take people down bad paths. Hitler? Anybody?
It's true. It's
bad
true.
path.
Talk
bad
about a bad
path.
heart.
But the German people overall, I don't think were bad. Hitler wasn't even German.
They were just following
That's
orders.
what really grinds my gears. You know what burns my assless chaps? Ugh. So that's our history of Old Zealand.
Last little thing I wanted to point out, I just looked up where Orleans was, and it's in central France. It's a beautiful little city.
That makes sense because like there's like a lot of Cajun
that French
people
Creole.
are French, but they also speak. Yeah, like they're. I think they must also be somehow. I'm not sure like what Cajun and Creole connections are to France. Yeah, but everything in New Orleans is like very French.
Yeah,
so it makes sense that Orleans,
savoir-faire, laissez-faire, state fair,
habeas corpus,
e pluribus unum.
The word for penis that I forget in Latin.
Schlong is dong.
Casey, what's the word for penis?
Penis?
Say it again. Gladius.
Gladiators.
It's the same word as sword in Latin.
I was gonna say I picked up a lot
and
of gladius.
vagina
I picked up a lot of penises in RPG video games.
Yeah, perfect. Well, so in vagina, which is where vagina comes from, means sheath. So literally, the sword and the sheath.
Oh, it's like the Sword and the Stone or the Fox and the Hound. Do you remember the Fox and the Hound porn?
Oh my gosh, I forgot about the Fox and the Hound porn.
Was that on an episode of Affable Idiots, or was that something that like we just looked up with Tom?
I think that's just something we looked up with Tom.
Oh, that's so gross. Don't look it up, everybody. Don't look up Fox and the Hound porn.
It ruins the Fox and the Hound.
Yep.
Which also ruined itself by breaking my fucking heart.
Oh, that's it for AAWY. Go ahead and tweet your question to twitter.com/AffableIdiots, and we will get to it on our next podcast.
You said twitter.com.
Twitter.com, Fox and Hound Dick.
For your next Latin lesson, come back next week.
I want to leave you with a parting positive thought because we want to spread a little positivity in the world. This is a great time for you to start whatever diet you've been wanting to start. If you're being like, I want to do this, I want to eat this way, blah, but it's hard because at lunch, blah, blah. You are now in full control of your diet and your meals when you're at home. You go to the grocery store, you are in control. Take this opportunity.
You like to eat frozen grapes and ice? Mama?
If that is literally, Jesse would eat ice sometimes for dinner.
I really like ice and frozen grapes.
Or she
also,
would
I hate
cut up
going to
one
the grocery
tomato, salt it, and eat that.
There was a cucumber in there too.
You're right. There's an extra 3 calories. Low-calorie pickles.
Only 3 calories, 10 however many calories. For the pickle.
That's it, everybody. Thank you. Until next week, I'm Chad Michael Innes.
I'm Jesse Neal.
And it's been such a pleasure being here with all of you.
And also, Con 2.
Very good. Bye-bye.